Welcome, welcome, welcome to Layman's World. My name is Angel, King of Mediocrity Martinez, joined as always by my wonderful Galaxian co host, Eddie Nags. Eddie, say what's up to the people.
What up, everyone? Lakers in 5, baby.
I'm a little bit upset about the Clippers loss today, so let's not talk about basketball right now. That's not how I want to start this show. A little salty. Shout out to a couple of guests today. We're going to do something a little bit different on Layman's World. Typically, we talk all things that we know nothing about. And today will be no different. We're going to continue talking about things that we know nothing about, specifically the year 2020.
Perfect.
We're going to talk about all the things that are going on in 2020, all the things that we think are going on in 2020, all the ups and downs and all arounds and everything in between. Joining us in studio today, please say hello to my friend, a.k.a. Loverboy,
What's
the
going on,
homie
guys?
Kenneth. Say what's up.
Thank you for having me. It's honestly a pleasure and always a fucking pleasure working with you. I know I've done an interview with your last show with you. That was fucking great. So, like I said, again, thank you for having me, and we're gonna talk about things that hopefully will enlighten people. But it's all things that we know nothing about, so take it with a grain of salt.
Absolutely. We live in an age of information, and it all depends on how you take it, right?
Yes.
Joining us via Zoom also, please give a warm shout out to the homie Bernie. What's up, BPGA? How we doing today?
What's up, Bernie?
Hello, everybody. How's it going? What's up, fam? What's up, Kenneth?
What's up? What's up?
What's up, Eddie? What's up, Angel?
What up,
Yeah,
Bird?
So,
Cracking.
what's cracking? Sir, a lot is cracking. There is so much that has gone on in 2020. I don't even know where to start. I have a good idea, though. Let's talk about what today is. Ladies and gentlemen, today is August 24th, known around the country as Kobe Day.
Kobe.
Actually, it's August 23rd. I'm sorry, but it's
One day shy.
Kobe Day.
You almost,
One
you-
day shy.
You almost got it, bro.
One day shy. One day shy.
The show almost went on without a hiccup, bro. And you just fucked it up.
It's all right. It wouldn't be this show without hiccups, right? I do want to say that that's somewhere that we should start. That's kind of one of the first signs we had that this year was going to go to shit was when we lost legend Kobe Bryant. That was definitely heartfelt by me as a lifelong Clipper fan. I do have to say, for as many years as I hated him, and I say that because, right, I just didn't like how much he beat us and how much he
I
ridiculed
didn't know
my
you were a
squad.
Clipper fan.
I didn't like that at all, but I do have to pay respect to a legend, and that's exactly what he was. So that's probably where we can start talking about, where this year took us, is the death of Kobe Bryant.
Definitely.
Thoughts?
I mean, it kind of feels like it just started going downhill from there, huh? It feels like, I don't know, man. I know it's all conspiracies and stuff, and this year has fucking sucked. And that was like a hard way to start, and it all just started going downhill from there, dude.
I think it's a year for conspiracies, though, because even
Good
surrounding Kobe's death, there's all this talk about just kind of ritualistic death and
Yeah, sure.
kind of just mysticism behind it, and it's kind of weird. It also happened on the day of the Grammys. It's just kind of like it's kind of odd, Well, not the
Yeah.
Grammys. It was what was it?
Was it the Grammys?
It was the Grammys.
I
I think so.
Yeah, it
I
was
think
the
so.
Grammys.
But basically, like, so to your point is that when we're talking about ritualistic sacrifice, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of it came down to one of the things that I saw there was they were making it to where he had to bring one of his daughters into kind of like this cult, right? And at some point, you have to bring in your children to do these things, these ungodly, unspoken things, and it was something that he refused to do. I think it's something that he chose not to do. He said, "No, absolutely not. Stay away from my kids." And unfortunately for him, so they say is he had to pay the ultimate price if you're gonna veer away from that. But
if
that's
he-
under the context and under the belief that he sold his soul to the devil
Yeah.
and became that good because of it.
Right.
That would have to ignore absolutely everything that he ever did in the gym, every piece of work that he'd ever done, every practice he ever hit, you would have to ignore all of that in order to buy into it. Birdie, any thoughts on Kobe's death?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say symbolically, Kobe was the trumpet that was heard around the world.
Definitely.
That was the signaling where it got everybody's attention on one thing before the coronavirus even hit. And you know, like when you're sad, it lowers it weakens your immune system. So it's perfect timing. See it, everybody in a dazed state, so to speak. And you know, Kobe was a talisman for a lot of people. He was an idol that we all worship.
True.
So,
very true.
For me, I can say a spell, like the spell that was casted over me through idolizing somebody was broken when he died. So it's a horrible thing, but at the same time, it was something that awakened me at the same time and freed me from the bullshit of media and sports.
Hey, Bernie, can you do me a favor? Can you move around a little bit or something? Because I think you have a bad connection. We're getting
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Like,
No. I was trying my best to gather all of that. And basically, you know, what we're talking about is him being an idol, him being a talisman, you know, him being looked up to. And, you know, once you have that kind of thing going for you, it's easy to have a target. It's easy for other people to pay attention. And I am rarely moved by the death or passing of celebrities or anything of that nature. Very rarely am I moved. And I have to admit, something about him passing, I think it also had to do with the fact that he was with his daughter.
Yeah.
You know, being a father myself now, and just, you know, hearing all the, all the stories, all the details, the fact that, you know, where he was headed, what he was going to do, he had hundreds of kids waiting on the other side of that trip. Hundreds of kids waiting for an opportunity to meet him, an opportunity to have practiced with him and to have been mentored by him, right? He had hundreds of kids waiting, and all of that really it did something to me, and it made me emotional. It really did.
It was crazy because it was before. I know you said it had to do with his daughter being in there, but before the news of his daughter actually being on in that helicopter broke, it was already weird. If you guys remember, it was a gloomy day, obviously.
Correct.
Foggy day, because
Fog.
that's how they crashed. But we were at the swap meet. I was actually with producer Brian right here, and when the news started breaking, you could hear like whispers of Kobe all around the swap meet, dude.
Yeah.
And it added to that gloomy day. You felt it, like the energy was just sucked out, like out of a swap meet. You know, it's
True.
like I'm not in a building with a bunch of people. It's like this whole
True.
fucking open space.
I was definitely around a lot of people. I was actually at the gym, and it's kind of weird how as the news passed around, everybody just became sort of glum and kind of more in their thoughts, and kind of just, I guess it kind of made everyone feel less immortal, like in a sense, like
Absolutely.
you know?
Absolutely, because you don't ever think that a legend like that is gonna go that
especially
way.
suddenly like that. Yeah.
You just never do.
Yeah.
You never do. But like anything, like when certain people die unexpectedly like that, I just always have this inkling
Yeah.
that there was something greater at work, right? And I'm not talking
I don't know
about.
if you've seen this, but did you see the cartoon where like he dies in a helicopter? Or
Yes.
he doesn't die, but he falls in a helicopter, and he's just
Yeah.
like out the fucking helicopter.
It was like a promo, right? It was
Yeah.
like a promotion, some kind of
Yeah,
commercial
it's
or
an
something
actual
like that.
cartoon. Like I wish we could pull it up, but like it's an actual cartoon where like he crashes in a helicopter and he's like.
Yeah, no, I have seen that.
The show is on Comedy Central. It's called Chamberlain Heights.
There you go. That's exactly what it was. Thank you, Bernie.
That's crazy. There was also that guy that tweeted. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
Kobe Bryant will die in a helicopter crash.
No way.
He tweeted it years ago. Yeah, I think I still have that screenshotted. I'll try
No
to
That's
pull it up while
crazy.
you- Yeah.
That's so wild.
And the
That's
guy
so
didn't
wild.
delete it. I remember going back to see that tweet and everything. That show was crazy.
That is wild, man. I didn't hear that.
And then there was another commercial with Kanye and Kobe with the helicopter.
Yeah, yes. I think that's what I was talking about when Kenneth brought that up, because
Okay.
Kenneth was talking about a cartoon.
Yeah, I was talking
but
about a
I was
cartoon.
talking about the commercial where he's like taking on hella people over and over again. He's like just taking everybody out and like pushing fools off of buildings and shit like that. Like, it's crazy. And then the whole thing ends with a helicopter crash as well. It was pretty wild. Pretty wild.
Yeah, that's all.
Hey,
Like,
Angel. Oh, my bad. I was going to say, earlier you said, like, Kobe sold his soul to the devil.
Right.
Now, who do you think the devil is?
Oh, no. See, I said that I would say that,
Stop.
whenever anybody says that they sold their soul to the devil, basically what they're saying is like, they sold their soul to a higher power that's going to allow them to get to where they need to go with certain sacrifices, on that contract. And so any celebrity now, right, even big in music or movie star actors, I mean, we're seeing a lot going on in Hollywood right now. Pizzagate is fucking real. Like, it is happening. It's out there. Those are facts. This is no longer conspiracy theory. This is fact. It's going on. And so these things that people are doing, right? Will Smith is another big name that gets thrown in the cup pretty often, is that sacrifices need to be made, right? Not just by you yourself personally, but by your kin as well. It's a lineage, and it's just the way that they continue to keep you,
Right.
kind of,
Tied in there.
yeah, tied up to them, tied into them. It's just how they do it. Because it's the only way that they're able to keep you, in that circle. So when I say sold their soul to the devil, I don't think that it's embodied by any one singular or secular person or being. I think that it's a giant network, a big group that is just so ever so powerful and unimaginably evil. That is
Yes.
who you make your contracts with, is
Sure.
just
Mhm.
people.
Yeah.
People, not anything other
And
than
the people-
other people, which is fucking scary. Scary.
for sure.
These families that run the banks.
What was that, Brittany?
I said it's the families that run these centralized banks.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You mean the
Yeah.
one family?
The Rothschilds.
You mean
Nah,
the
multiple
Rothschild?
families, but
Yeah.
mostly the Caucasoid families,
Man,
Caucasians, Europeans, whatever you want to say.
this just in, and it's a thought from producer Bryant. What if Vanessa sold her soul, and the sacrifice she needed to make
Wow.
was her husband and daughter, and she's left with a lot
Damn.
of fucking money?
Wow.
Hey, you want to switch
That's
seats, Brian?
deep, bro.
Wow.
That's deep.
That is.
That
deep.
cuts in pretty hard. That's quite the accusation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But dude, that's what we're about today. We're about reaching. We're about talking about those things that people are afraid to talk about, and I'm certainly no stranger to that. If anybody ever caught us on Jag before, that's pretty much all we ever did. So we're doing this episode today as a pseudo homage to that, because
Right.
we're not claiming to know it all.
Feel
By
free
no
to talk shit
way,
in the
shape,
comments.
or form does anybody know it all. And if you think you know it all, you're a fool. If you can't
Yeah.
remain teachable and you can't remain humble, you're a fool. If you think that the world is cookie cutter and the way that you've imagined it your entire life, I'm sorry, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Every single solitary day, we get an opportunity to learn something new and react to it. Every single day. And we're all going to react differently. There's no way that we're all going to have the same opinion. There's no way that we're all going to draw the same picture and see it the same way. It's just not going to happen. But there's certain things that are facts and certain things that you can't run away from. And there are things out there that are now public information that you can do the investigating yourself for, and you can see the truth for yourself if you so choose.
For sure.
But it is quite the rabbit hole to drop down.
Yeah. Yeah, you could get into.
Hey, did you guys hear about the shit that Kobe was getting into with the Chinese pharmaceutical company?
I did read that
Or
as
the
well.
Black Mamba trademark?
Yeah. The Black Mamba trade.
He was like literally a week away from going to court to testify against these people because he found out that they're cutting their products with some illegal drugs.
Is that right? Dude, and that could be,
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge. Anytime that you go against any
China, bro.
pharmaceutical,
Yeah. That
anytime you
seems
go,
like a cover story for me though for his actual death. I don't know, something about that. Just I mean, I don't think they would go as far whether like to kill him over like the name or I don't know. It just doesn't sound right to me.
yeah.
It sounds like someone trying to point like their direction or let's say like misdirection. You know
Distractify for
what I
sure.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
that would be the logical thing. Obviously, it seems too obvious to me.
Yeah,
them to
dude.
come
Because
or something like
but
that.
that's the thing nowadays, though, right? Like, isn't it crazy how something happens and we're all about it, and all of a sudden we start, movements, activists, things start happening, things start going, and then out of nowhere you just get the most random thing happen in the world that just kind of takes everybody off guard.
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
isn't that pretty much the name of the game?
Yeah.
That's how they play with us, right? Like, they got us over here, right? Something happens that they didn't want to get out is here, and then they gotta come over here and be like, no, look at this right here, look at this right here, so that we can forget about this guy
Oh, yeah,
right here.
definitely.
Look. Because it's
You know what?
intense. Go ahead, Bern.
You know what this shit got me thinking about too? About just like past deaths. Like, this got me thinking about Richie Valens and Buddy Holly when their plane died and shit. Like those and the Big Bopper, like those two are about on the way to change the world too.
You think
Yeah.
about a
Especially Richie
superstar.
Valens.
You think about a superstar like Alia, right? Alia died in a similar fashion.
True.
Correct?
Yeah.
And that much is so fucking obvious that she was, with a pedophile in R. Kelly, right?
Yeah.
How much did she know?
Yeah.
How much did she get fed up with and was
Yeah.
ready to just let it all out and let everyone know, and then all of a sudden she's gone. Right? So it
Wasn't
makes
there
you
also
think, man.
wasn't there another Mexican singer lady who recently passed like 6 years ago? She was really famous.
She was really famous, but I don't remember.
She was a
her name.
Mexican singer,
Oh.
but she died in a plane crash. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Jenny Rivera.
She did? I didn't know she
Yeah,
had
she did
passed.
play crash.
I think it was Jenny Rivera.
Which seems to be very common between music artists dying in plane crashes, which is kind of odd.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
too.
And I think it goes back to the point that I made earlier, is the fact that you have these people who want notoriety, they want to make it big, right? And you've seen it in movies because they've shown it to us before. You've seen it in movies where you have a situation where someone wants to make it big, they want to get to the next level, and the only way they get to the next level is you got to come in this room with me and you got to show me you want it.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's like this weird, really icky vibe that they give. But it happens. It happens a lot. I mean,
That's
look
how
at
the-
Weinstein, bro.
Exactly.
Weinstein made everything. He brought every. When people started going after Weinstein, that's when you started seeing all of it. Everything just started coming out like by the tons,
Yeah,
stories
that was with
after
the Me Too
stories after
movement.
stories. And
Yeah.
you're talking about the girls that didn't make it. The
Mhm.
girls that did not make it and didn't get to the next level. So he took advantage of them, did what he did to them, and still left them high and dry.
Yeah.
Terrible, right? I mean, it's terrible regardless whether he gave him the job or not. It's awful.
And what
Let's
what-
get that straight.
What people don't pay attention to also is that what he was saying is that he basically said that he was being singled out when everybody else did the same thing. And
Correct.
nobody else like pays attention to that. They just like put all the blame on the scapegoat, and like he was probably like 1/10 of like the filth that's happening in that circle, you know?
Sure. Yes. And it's starting to come out. They're starting to unravel. They're starting to unravel. They really are. Podesta's email,
Yeah.
like Pizzagate. Come on, dude. That's real.
Yeah.
I mean, who the hell eats a pizza for a half an hour?
Yeah. Not just that, but it's the way they speak about it is so suspicious. Like, how are you gonna say you could just eat pizza in like the designated areas? Like, you don't speak about pizza in that way.
No,
It's
you
like-
just don't. There's just, I mean,
It's $1,500 of hot dogs.
you get me?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so the code words, it's easy to break those codes. It's so easy.
Yeah.
And people who choose to ignore it, I just don't get it. I don't understand.
I don't think they choose to ignore it. They just don't have the capacity to imagine our leaders as being able to be just capable of doing like these horrible acts and things to like children and things like that. You know,
Yeah.
so they don't want to think about it.
Right.
They don't want to think about it.
Yeah,
That's
bro,
true,
they're
yeah.
afraid.
Exactly.
Honestly, people are afraid.
You have a point. I believe so. I believe
They're
that's
scared. And then also, too, I hate to say this, but it's the people with the kids are the ones who really want to turn a blind eye to this shit because
True.
then they freak out about their kids being in this world.
See,
Yeah.
here's my thing, dude. As a father, for me personally, I
2012.
not only embrace
That's
these things that are happening around me. I'm doing the best that I can to make sure that my daughters are not going to be a statistic. I'm gonna do the best
Let me
I
put the camera
can
so we
by
could,
teaching them how to protect themselves, how to be loud, and above everything, teach them to be confident because
Angel.
a lot of these guys, a
Here's
lot
that-
of
here's
these.
that tweet that we were. I don't know if you guys can see it.
There you go.
But it's a tweet from 2012, and it says Kobe is gonna die in a helicopter crash.
Run your finger.
Oh,
like
that's
you can see it's a real
crazy.
tweet.
Yeah. And
Oh, that's wild. Who tweeted it?
Some random guy
Some random dude said that.
in 2012. Yeah.
We need to find that random dude and
yeah,
get him
we
on the
need to
show.
find that dude.
But back to the point I was making is that, dude, I'm looking at all this information and I'm like, dude, how do I keep my kids from falling into this trap? Because if you're choosing to ignore that all this stuff is going on, you're choosing to ignore a couple facts. And here are some. Most of the time when somebody gets abused, it's by someone they know and someone who has gotten close to them or their parents. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah.
So if you are ignoring the signs, if you're ignoring that this is happening, that means you are willingly ignoring the signs. You personally are now endangering your own child.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing by choosing to ignore what's going on.
Exactly.
Accept the facts and learn to see behaviors so that you yourself can pick the people out who do not need to be in your daughter's or son's life. Because it's not just daughters. A lot of these sports teams, a lot of these coaches,
Yeah.
you gotta watch them, dude.
Yeah.
Full-on college kids.
Shit.
College kids.
Dude, it's not safe anywhere. I mean, the fucking pre-scandals forever too.
It's wild to
Yeah.
me how much happens and these guys get away with it. Generation after generation, class after class after class. In my high school, there was a teacher. His name was Mr. Cohen. Mr. Cohen used to have, you guys remember back in the day, females in high school used to take those pictures, like, we used to go to the mall and like
Yeah,
with those funky backgrounds, right?
Better
Like,
pictures.
right.
Yeah.
So that was like a big thing then.
Yeah.
He would get that picture from every female student he could
Wow.
every year. Now, he will tell you that he never asked for them. He'll tell you, "Oh, well, I don't ask for them. They give them to me." I find it kind of weird that they only give them to you though. No one else is.
That is
No
true.
one else is putting them on their desk.
Yeah.
No one else is pasting them on the outside of their window. And me as a kid, I knew that something was up, and I thought, man, this dude's a perv for sure.
Yeah.
This dude's a perv. As a kid, I knew that, right?
Right.
As an adult, I look at it, and I cannot imagine what it's like to walk into a parent-teacher conference, sit down in that room, and look at all the things that he had going on around him without raising suspicion. I'm sorry.
Or seeing your daughter's
I'm
picture.
sorry.
Yeah.
That's a motherfucking no for me, sir. It's gonna be a no for me, dog. Absolutely not.
For
But
sure.
it's crazy that people still refuse to accept what's going on.
You know what though? I do give people credit because they're starting to wake up. And I've
Some.
been talking about this subject for more than 10 years. Like I started getting into this like a long time ago, and it used to be like really fringe topic to even mention.
Correct.
You know, and people looked at you weird. But like just recently, like my lady and I went to a march in Hollywood where it was just basically to save the children, and it was like
Good for you guys.
hundreds of people like literally out in public displaying their thoughts on the subject and just like fully exposing the topics of what we're talking about right now. So I think it's just going to be a slow process, but people are actually starting to see the truth. And Epstein well, I'm probably like jumping the gun, I know that's
Don't
another
worry about
topic.
No, it's cool.
But
Don't
I
worry
think
about it.
Epstein has a huge role to play because they're seeing that in the flight logs, there's just this massive, huge list of huge names on there, you know? Huge names. And
Arranged.
yeah.
Yes.
So,
And it's not just politicians, right? It's not
No,
just politicians. It's
definitely
not just
not.
Hollywood. This is happening, amongst a lot of powerful, wealthy people.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, this is happening with wealthy people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I mean, I don't even know. Like Epstein is just the tip of the fucking iceberg.
exactly.
Because there are so many more just like him
Yeah.
who are doing it on a smaller scale.
Well, there was Nexum before them, and Nexum was a huge raid also, and Nexum owned like so many daycares and Like they owned just like through their shell companies so many other corporations that were just related to children as well, and they had big actors on there. I don't remember her name, but she was on Smallville. And
Oh, right.
she was actually recruiting like underage girls
Wow.
to be a part of this cult. You know,
That's
HBO's
wild.
gonna come out like they're just doing a documentary about on it now, so I'm pretty sure more people are gonna wake up to it. But
Sure.
for sure, Nexum was like before Epstein that people even then didn't pay any attention to, or it didn't get as much media coverage as, like even like a simple story, you know, which is kind of weird.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
For sure.
Bernie, you got anything to say about this wildness?
Oh yeah, bro. Like I was saying, how I asked earlier, who's the devil? Like, check these people's last names, man. Steens, Bergs, bro. It's like it's these fucking same people over and over and over again throughout history.
Here's the thing though about that. I don't like to get into that too much because it kind of like delves into like anti-Semitic. But like I feel like in any religion or culture, there's gonna be the sects that are sects that are extremists, and to me, putting like a label just like on the Bergs or the Steens, like it's just like putting a stigma again on just like Jews, you know. But like I don't feel like it's just like it's probably like a satanic sect of that culture, you know. But
Right.
that's why I don't really like.
Hey man, there's a reason they've been expelled out of 130 plus countries.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, there's a reason.
It's true, and
It's,
obviously, like
it's not for nothing.
yeah, and the FBI just like released the Elders of Zion. I don't know if you guys read that. But
Negative.
It's basically like their plan, like the Jewish plan to kind of make the world into the promised land that was promised by God, and it shows like their list and the steps. And first is to control the banks, control like society, and it basically it was written like I think like in 1912. And those type of things kind of do make you wonder whether something else is going on. But like I said, I really don't like to make those things because just like I just hating like on a specific people on their own. You know, there has to be those
Right.
bad people within the religion that are making it bad.
And that goes with every group, right? Like with
Exactly.
absolutely every group.
Like I'm
we
pretty sure
shouldn't-
not all Catholic like priests are fucking pedophiles, but
right,
it's just the ones that
right,
ruin
right,
it, you know?
right. But you know, the
Yeah.
apple doesn't. What is it? Birds of a feather flock together. So 9 times out of 10, you're probably gonna have
Yeah,
something
yeah, I feel you.
like that. I would say that you would probably have exceptions. You'd probably have exceptional people that are not, you know, that are nonconformist and don't go along with the trends that are going on around them. So I would say that, but I feel pretty heavily that that if it's a continuous effort as an entire group or an establishment or an association, what have you, that it's pretty, I would say it's borderline. You know, it is happening. Like, you know, like you said, it's a stigma thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's what people
Look
talk
into the
about.
stuff a little bit.
It's what?
And this whole anti-Semitism stuff, if you actually look up the word Semitic, it involves people from Africa.
Okay.
So the Semites are black people.
Trip.
Well, that's also
Now-
a
now-
big debate. That's a huge debate.
No, it's not. It can't be a debate, bro. Just look up the words and the definitions of all these people. And also, Jew, it's a religion, it's an ideology, it's not a race.
Yeah.
So these Jewish people claiming that their religion is a race is a big lie. And for them to claim that they're Semites is also another big lie because they're Europeans,
Right.
not Semitics. So they're playing a big word salad game. Just like right now we're playing a big word salad game with Black Lives Matter. If you speak out against it, you're a racist. Like what?
Right.
If you criticize Jews for doing something bad, you're anti-Semite. What? They're not even Semites. Like chill. Like
It's
so
interesting.
You have to learn this stuff.
It's
For you
interesting.
to say this stuff with confidence.
Right.
I feel you on that,
It-
Bernie. For sure, I feel you on that.
It's interesting that you said, you know, that you brought up Black Lives Matter because, you know, as I see the movement for what it is, if you have a slightly different opinion than what the narrative is, it's kind of scary. It's a little scary because I've been, you know, I went to a couple of those marches. You know, I felt compelled to go just see what it was about. because I couldn't believe everything that I was seeing online, everything that I was seeing, but the tearing apart the cities and all that stuff. I was like, there has to be peace. There has to be peaceful protests somewhere, and I wanted to see if anything would start, and have a witness account of it, and also to support everything that was going on at that time. And what I found is that a lot of people that were involved in a lot of that movement, they really just had kind of like pretty, I would say they'd had their blinders on. Everybody had just one view. It was that opinion, and we all needed to subscribe to that. And if you didn't, and if you subscribe to it in any less amount than the rest of us do, you're not exactly here, and you're not about it. And it was interesting to me because I'd never really been part of a movement like that. I've never been part of a big group like that. And standing there, I couldn't help but feel a little bit alienated when I would hear things, like, defund the police and fuck this and fuck that and, ACAB, all that stuff. I just sat there and I was like, okay, but we're all talking about it. We're all screaming it. We're all raving about it. But now nobody here can really tell me why we're asking for those things, or we're doing those things, or what's the plan? What's the tell all be all? What's going to keep everybody from leaving these streets, and where is the solution? That's what I want to know. And it's very interesting that you say that, because I think a lot of people sometimes they just kind of to jump on that, they just kind of jump on these trends, the things that are happening. And I have to be honest, I was guilty of it too. I wanted to go out there, I wanted to support, but what I saw was not exactly what I envisioned. It wasn't what I envisioned. It was a little different.
That's perfect, guys. It's true, because I grew up listening to punk rock, and I was always like anti-government, fuck the police.
Most definitely.
Everything that's being said right now is punk rock, fucking work. But now that I'm seeing all these fucking rich white kids destroying the cities, like destroying businesses with insurances and shit, it's like, wait a second, like skirt, like,
yeah,
I guess I'm not punk rock anymore.
Nah. That's crazy.
Like, that shit ain't the way. Like, we actually need police, bro. Like, I'm starting to rethink my life now. Seeing all these fucking people fucking shit up.
Punk rock needs a new cause.
That needs to be an album, Punk Without a Cause, bro. That needs to be an album.
Well, we actually had like a demonstration of what would happen if there was no cops in Seattle.
True.
Where they just like left, and
True.
as soon as they left, like gangs started like extortioning businesses.
Correct.
And they started like taking money like for protection.
Yes.
Like, and it just turned into a disaster,
Yeah,
so
that's awful.
we
what's
need
going on over
something. We need, obviously what we have right now isn't perfect and it's fucking terrible.
Right.
But I think the plan should be to get a better system and
Right.
have like a longer training for cops. Like I think like in Switzerland, like
6
they go through,
fucking
like,
months
4
is not much
years or
training,
something
dude.
like that.
Yeah.
Or like something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, somebody brought up like it's crazy how many years it takes to be a lawyer or a judge.
Fucking
yet-
doctor, a fucking barber,
No,
dude.
no. It goes in hand.
And how much money it costs.
Yeah, like how long it takes, right, to become either a lawyer or a judge, but yet to become a cop who enforces these laws, it's what, a year, not even a
8
year.
months, yeah, not even a year. And it's scary for sure.
Yeah.
Like in other countries, they have to go through psychological training, like
Correct.
a lot of things. And over here, they just basically hand you a gun and they're like, okay, good
In
job.
other countries, they don't even do gun training, like
They don't have
firearm
to.
training.
Oh yeah.
They do so much other training first
Mm-hmm.
to decide that you are capable
Yeah.
of being given or granted.
Psychologically, yeah.
Yes, that you're being granted this power
Mm-hmm.
to have it.
Over here, they're like, you could run 3 miles, perfect. All right, you're good.
Right here, it
Yeah.
just seems like, oh, you're physically fit. Fuck it, sign up.
No
Yeah.
DUIs? Should
Uh-huh.
shoot.
Did you get the, did you happen to you got through high school? Oh yeah, come on, let's do this.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
You seen Training Day? All right, you ready? Go in.
And it's like, look, man, I'm not gonna sit here and shit on all the cops that are out there. It is a fucking, on occasion, man, it can be a fucking thankless job.
Yeah.
I've said it before. I think we talked about it here on Layman's previously. When everything was going on immediately after Floyd's death, is that it's a thankless job. You have to wonder, these guys are reporting to their job every single solitary day, and for, fucking 10 plus 12 hours,
It's a
these guys.
job, but they're getting $80K here in Los Angeles.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. But my
Yeah.
thing is this like for fucking 10 to 12 hours, your only human experience is negative
Yeah, you're right. For sure.
all day
Yeah.
for 4 days a week.
Yeah.
That shit's gotta fuck with you over the years.
Yeah.
Over several
And
years.
it's not even the police. It's the people running the police, man. The people cutting these checks still.
It's
Yeah.
what you're trained to do, right? It's how you're trained. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And we talk about being the type of individual that's not gonna conform, right? Special people that are gonna stand out and do different. There are great examples out there of people who are doing that are not on the network news, that whose names are not being blasted right now. There are definitely a lot of examples of people out there that are doing their job correctly.
Yeah.
But there are some few people out there. There are still those hothead cases where these guys just don't know how to control themselves. They don't know how to diffuse situations. They throw their training completely out the door, and then they just get into it with somebody. They've got more power than they think they have more power than they actually do, and they try to manipulate others, and it's unfortunate.
Not just that, but I think the bare minimum should be not having any Nazi tattoos. There's so many cops out there
Seriously,
with like
dude. white
power tattoos. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, that's
you
not
know,
right.
There's lightning bolts, SS, like,
yeah,
dude,
that's not
come
right.
on.
And it's crazy because when you get arrested, I've never been arrested, but I watch a lot of documentaries.
Hear you,
Dude,
hear
one
you.
of the things is there's a team that's
Weak.
that's designated to study tattoos, and
Yeah.
when you go to prison,
Correct.
to fucking
Yeah,
I mean, why don't cops go through this too? They already have the fucking the data. Just
exactly,
Correct.
dude. Exactly.
No, you're absolutely right.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right. That's a fact, and it should be done. But it's
And
not.
I think we can all say it's all a plan. Like none of this is coincidence.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a reason why there's so many cops with a white power tattoos
Yeah.
in the police force. And if we go back to the original police force, the badge was a 6-pointed Jewish star,
Oh yeah, I read
and
it
it was a
as well.
slave patrol.
wow.
Slave patrol.
True.
So we know too, the Spanish, Europeans, the Dutch, all these Europeans, whether they're a Catholic or Jewish, doesn't matter what religion, they all had slaves. They're all down to take our land, and that's it.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
crazy.
No, we can't make excuses for these people no more.
No. No one's making any kinds of excuses. It's just, it's like, I heard someone say that the planet is the way that it is because someone wants it that way. Like, we have the power and ability to completely change everything, but
I think we
someone
do.
wants it to be this way, and so it is, right? And so we continue
Yeah.
having these conflicts, these unnecessary conflicts, because don't we all want the same thing? Doesn't everyone want to prosper? Doesn't everyone want to eat? Everyone wants to be happy. And some people's happiness is derived from making others suffer. And that's the unfortunate part, is that those people are the people who've got the control in their hands. That's the unfortunate part. They think that by keeping us down, that's how they stay on top. And staying on top is what makes them happy. There's just so much control going on. Like this whole thing right now, what is going on around us right now? Let's talk about another thing that's going on right now. What's going on with COVID right now?
COVID, man.
What's going on with COVID right now?
Wait, that's Epstein.
It feels
Oh,
like
sorry.
There we go. That's COVID. That's what it looks like.
I see the resemblance though, Brian. I see why that happened.
Fucking plague to the planet. It's all good.
Right.
But yeah, no, COVID, man. It's been a ride for sure.
It kind of feels. Look, I play it safe.
Yeah.
But
All
I
day.
feel I'm suspicious about it.
Sure.
And now at this point, it kind of feels like it only exists when it's convenient. Have you guys noticed it disappears and then it comes back like slightly from the news?
It knows who to attack and who not to attack.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's if it's this like global pandemic, it should be the number one thing in the news,
Yeah.
no matter what. I mean, if somebody dies, I'm
Facts.
sorry, but we're going through a global pandemic. This is like the main focus right now. But yet, You know, they change focus when they want. It's just when they want.
Yeah.
It feels like almost like a play, bro. And
Right.
then what are the odds? And I think our country's in the middle of it. What are the
Yeah.
odds that this fucking business guy is the president during this fucking pandemic and shit? You know, it's
Mm.
and
Mm-mm-mm.
I don't know, man.
I feel you on that, but
Go ahead.
also, I think if you're like entertain conspiracies, then if you believe that maybe it might be fake, but you should also believe that the government is also willing to infect people with an actual virus.
Facts.
You know,
Yes.
I think if you're really reading into conspiracy, and there's proof of things where the U.S. has wanted to create false flag bombings in our own country, and these are
Yep.
declassified files like Operation Northwoods, where they try to blame it on Cubans.
Mm-hmm.
And these are all things that actually went and people voted on it, and they were like, no, not this time. But what about if this time they voted on it and they were like, okay, yeah, like we're gonna set up a virus and it's gonna like for whatever their agenda is.
Yeah.
But that's why I play it safe also, like you were saying, because obviously like it could be real, like it can be real. My brother had it, but who knows if the tests are like, you know, designed
True.
to detect just a certain like flu symptom, you know, that
Right.
people have, you know.
I know that Bernie's got a point about fake tests.
Oh yeah. The fucking president from Tanzania had sent in a couple of samples from a pop-up fruit, from a goat, a whole bunch of shit, and they all came back with coronavirus.
No
positive. They had it.
I heard about
Yeah.
that too.
Food.
I guess America developed some of the tests, right? So they sent
Yeah.
them to Nigeria,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they ran them through. They tested them with watermelons,
Yeah.
and a bunch of them came back positive.
No
Yes.
way.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That
It's
is
crazy.
insane.
And also too, another cool false, oh, it's not a cool false flag, but a false flag that was interesting was the Gulf of Tonkin, and that's the Vietnam that started the Vietnam War,
Mm-hmm.
and Jim Morrison's dad was the fucking captain of that ship
No
crazy.
way.
Trip.
from the Doors, yeah. And then
Trip.
Oh wait, I heard about that. They blew up the
And
ship,
who-
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, they blew up the ship. I do recall that. Yeah, and these are actual things that happen in history, and people don't. They don't even care, you know. It's
See,
so
but the-
trippy.
See, but the crazy thing is that these are the things that, like, you know, you talk about, you know, what year all this stuff might have happened, and you know, you've always got that one hippie friend that's like, nah, man, the fucking government, bro, and
Yeah.
like they've
That's me. I'm the hippie
made
friend, bro.
conspiracy theorists just fucking seem so
Somebody's
crazy.
gotta do it.
You know, they just make it sound so outlandish,
Yeah.
and that's the one thing that you have to do to discredit anybody is make them sound like a fucking loon.
This is true.
You know, and it's happened so
which is
often.
what the CIA did.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
They created the term conspiracy theorist.
Exactly.
Correct.
That's
Yeah.
when JFK got assassinated, so that people wouldn't question it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
wild.
let's talk about JFK, because JFK wanted to disclose the structure of secret societies within the government, and like the week after his speech where he like said secret societies have no place in government, like he was assassinated. You know, so I think that's huge. That
Big
tells
time.
you all you need
Yeah,
to
and
know.
he
about
wanted
that.
to end the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, he
True.
wanted that too. He wanted a lot of things actually. He wanted to disclose a lot of information. They ended up killing him, man. It's crazy.
You just can't be a good person anymore. You can't have that much light.
I think you can. You just need to be brave and, you
But
know.
that's the thing, though, is right. Like, even if it, like, so let's say you are brave, and let's say you are willing to go the distance, and you know, and uncover all these
Accept the
things.
consequences.
You're eventually gonna get to a point where somebody's gonna shut you down.
That's true, but slowly it's been a ladder. Like I said, like even like the Epstein going down, that
Yeah.
had to have taken so many people that were brave enough to take that sacrifice.
I'll give you
know
that.
what I mean?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Because you know what it is? It's that Bug Life saying. You know, all it takes.
I love that movie, bro.
Well, that's what you described though when he throws the seed at him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, did that hurt? But you know, you come together. Eventually,
Yeah.
you're gonna take him down, bro.
I feel you. I
See,
feel
Bug
you.
Life was deep. It's not just about being a beautiful butterfly. It's more than that,
It's a
bro.
beautiful butterfly.
And see this, and also too, like going with what the government does to us is biological warfare. It's like they're turning all of our men into women.
Oh, I
don't know if
saw
that's-
that.
What?
I saw that. It's okay. Elaborate, please. But I did see that over the years, they're turning us into women,
Yeah.
men.
I
by the
think
way.
that could.
Yeah, and then
Go ahead, Bernie.
it's just like, all that stuff, like the foods we've been eating over the past 50 years. And it's something that happens, like, if you look at the cases of the study with the rats, like they feed the parents a certain group of chemicals, and then the children are born differently, right?
Mhm.
So the stuff we eat right now isn't going to affect us, but it's going to affect our offspring. They're going to be born different.
Yeah.
Their DNA is going to be genetically modified because of the stuff we eat and take.
And I wonder what is the what would you imagine be the benefit of doing that? Because don't we also need? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, we need alphas. We absolutely need alphas. So you can't just create a bunch of betas.
But I think the feet. Okay, here's my thing. And I know probably a lot of people won't agree, but my thing is that this idea or thoughts of like the government wanting to destroy the masculine, like, is also just like maybe males' fear of being demasculated. And I think that's in order for us to evolve as a society, we need to get past that, you know. And I feel
Yeah.
like if we get past that male toxicity, we'll be able to not only just get along with each other better, but we'll be able to kind of understand each other more. There'll be
Right.
less war, there'll be less arguments, there'll be just more willingness to accept confrontation through just verbal arguments or just
Right.
like a consensus of compromise, you know?
Right. Right.
Like
And
that's
that male toxicity stuff was programmed into us. Just think about all the music and the movies we watched throughout the years. Like, think about the music. Like, before like music was like, oh, I'm gonna build you a house, I'm gonna take you to the moon. And then over the years, just slowly, it was like we started degrading our women more and more. And like with the hip hop music, like with the NWA. So, yeah.
I hear you. Like I said, there's two
I
sides
don't
to
want to go I don't want to get too crazy.
Yeah, there's two sides to every coin, and I see both sides. But my thing is like if you're gonna, what is there to fear with them like kind of demasculated? Like, what is there to fear? Like, there's not a lot to fear. Like, it's just what we're gonna be like less like macho. Like, why is that necessarily a bad thing?
You know the crazy thing about it is that we're talking about it and like we're almost talking about these blurred lines, right? Like where you know a man, a masculine, an alpha male, they're trying to bring down the masculinity. But I find it funny that we're talking about that, and you know, the transgender community is wildly getting out into the open more and more now, more and more. And I do have to say, this is just and I'm sorry to veer us off course here or take us off topic in any way, shape, or form, but such is my life. How do you guys feel? Because I just saw it the other day. There was a UFC transgender female
Yeah, this
who
was a while
just
back.
absolutely decimated her opponent. I mean, broke her face, dude.
Yeah.
Bones in all, just completely eradicated her existence.
Here's my thing. Like, if you could identify however you want. I have lots of transgender friends, and I
Sure.
completely 100% open to it. Like,
Yes.
open to it completely.
Yes.
But there are physical differences between a man and a woman.
Yeah.
Facts.
And if you are to put it in a competing setting and like competition setting,
Yes.
I think there should be rules that kind of either allow the female to be of a higher weight class,
Okay.
or just like, I don't want to say not allow it, but they should take
Yeah.
that into consideration. Our physicality is different, you know?
That's a fact. See, like I got a lot of shit for once saying that I thought that the NBA or the WNBA should bring the rim down. I got a lot of shit for that. A lot. And I'm like, I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah.
I get that you know, we were trying to say that, you know, men are equal or women are equal, we're all equal. Like I understand where that comes from, and I share the sentiment wholeheartedly. I do. A father of two girls. I love my mother and sister. I love my girl Heather. You know, like I absolutely adore women. I do. But the fact of the matter is, statistically, they're just shorter. That's a fact.
Not
It's
just
a
that-
statistic.
Not just that, but that's why the Olympics are judged differently too. Like even
Correct.
something, you know.
And that's why there's women's records and that's why there's men's records. It's just how it is. And no amount of us trying to bond the two things is going to change that. Now, will there be a female one day that's going to run faster than a male? Fuck yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Hell
sure.
yeah, there is.
Yeah.
It's going to happen, right?
I think if I'm not mistaken, golf recognizes them like
Boom.
differently. I think,
There's another
I
one.
think
Nice.
they tee off.
Tennis is
they-
another one.
They tee off in a different location. They're closer. I think.
Oh, they're closer.
I think so.
Oh, okay.
If I'm not
Seriously?
mistaken, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, that's
I might
crazy.
be wrong. I'll look. I'll try to look for it.
I would
but
figure that golf kind of closes the gap between the two genders, because maybe not. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe.
Look, I've seen it at the beach, and I can say that volleyball is one of the sports that gets played pretty, co-genderly,
Yeah.
if you will, right? I've seen it on the basketball court as well. It can be. Don't get me wrong. If you try to post up a dude, it's gonna be a hard time for you. It
Yeah.
really is. But there's just certain things that have been separated, in that way. Like I cannot imagine a female playing football and just being allowed to play football.
Yeah.
I think everybody would close the door on that so fast.
Uh-huh.
So then you see someone who's identifying as a female, come out and join the, female track team and blowing their fucking records out the goddamn door, getting collegiate scholarships, taking away an
From women.
opportunity from somebody else to get themselves propelled in their own existence. I find that immoral, and I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
I just don't. I think if we're gonna go that far, at this point, it should no longer be male or female sports. I
It should-
think you should have a male sport, a female sport. You should have a transgender male sport and a transgender female sport.
I feel you.
Be groundbreaking in that sense. Be in your own class, even if you're the only fucking one.
Mhm.
But start setting records in that category, and you can have the sports that you need. I feel.
I'm gonna bring us back around though. I
Go
feel
ahead.
like we went off the rails a little
Okay,
bit,
yeah.
but
I'm sorry. I
No, no, it's
apologize
fine.
before I started.
it's fine. But I'm still a little hungover and the wheels are turning very slowly. But I thought about how they're trying to turn everyone. They're trying to turn everyone to women, right?
They trying to make us bitches, Eddie.
Hey. I don't call my hoes bitches, all right? Relax. Just kidding. Just kidding. But check it out. How about this? The most powerful people in the world are male, right? What if it was like to control the bloodlines? We mentioned the Epsteins and all that. What if like they're just trying to control it's a numbers game. There's less male to compete with,
But these people in power, it's not like they're the epitome of masculine either. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know that whole agenda to me. I don't think it's like. I just think it just derives from fear.
Right.
But if you look at history, like even the Egyptians had their own symbol for like someone that identified as a woman. Cultures back then, they were also woke to it. It's not something new. Just people, I think, are a little scared of what they don't understand or
Right.
know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Here's another
Right,
thing. Here's
right.
another.
My bad. Like you hit perfect point because our ancient cultures they did accept men who had that feminine energy intact
Yeah.
as well,
Mhm.
and they were the shamans.
Mm-hmm.
See, and I was gonna say
So-
that most of the
so-
time. Go ahead, Bernie. Go ahead.
So yeah, basically those people are were men who can control the feminine energy, and
Yes,
with the
male
women,
energy.
those women who can control their male energy, whereas normal people can only control their male energy, and normal women can only control their female energy.
And that's actually a good point that you bring up, because I think the only agenda that makes sense is for someone in power to be kind of pushing us towards more the female so that we could understand it and we could evolve more, so we could understand both the male and the female energy to kind of elevate our consciousness. That's the only thing that to me would make sense, because like you said, like back then there were ancient cultures where you draw power from being able to harness both the feminine and male energy, and these were the shamans, and these were things like that. So what about if it's
Yeah.
you know, if whether it's
So we're 100% going through that. I honestly feel we are going through that right now because we're definitely way more accepting of homosexuals and transsexuals
oh for sure.
and there's new things being created every day, you know, and we're accepting everything that they bring. But up until we reach the pedophile point, because that shit's happening right
No,
now.
Nobody
That's
is
all.
down
No,
with that,
yeah, no.
bro. Nobody is
No.
down with that right
Yeah,
now.
that is just
Right.
yeah.
But in Greece, they find it as a disability. So there are people who do find it.
In Greece, yeah, they labeled it a
A disability?
mental disability. Yeah, which is not okay.
I mean, it is, but they should be in jail.
I mean, yeah, it is, but I think it was to the point where they don't get arrested or they just yeah.
See, like that
No,
now.
see, that's not okay with me.
Yeah.
That's absolutely
Hold
not
on,
okay with me.
I was trying to go back to, so basically we're coming to the point of accepting the males who have the feminine energy. But I think what's the problem is we're sexualizing this stuff.
Mm.
And the over-sexualized, hyper-sexualizing of this of sex is the bad part, which is what people have the problem with. Because our children are being affected by it.
True. Yeah,
This is true.
that's
This
absolutely
is true. And case in point, the whole cuties fucking dilemma on Netflix. What the fuck was that?
Whoa, I don't know what this is. Fill me in.
It was basically, oh man, the cover for it was just super sexualizing girls from like 10 to 11, and the description, the name was Cuties, and they were just description was just like budding teens like in the dance off or just like but the cover was way off, like, and
Yeah.
Netflix released an apology for it, like
Wow.
it was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's had some pretty serious implications just
Yeah.
on the you know don't judge a book by its cover, but that fucking cover was pretty fucking
Yeah,
wrong, dude.
it was
like,
really bad.
it
They
was
were
so
wearing-
bad.
They were in
so
like really
bad.
skimpy outfits, super
Yes.
sexualized, bro. It was
Yes.
not okay.
Well, it makes you wonder, right? Like, you look at all the things that exist already, you know, like you're talking about pageants, cheerleading, like all these things.
Yeah.
And what I don't understand from it all is that you're maturing the child faster than they need to be matured. You
Yes,
are
that's the point right there,
willfully
yes.
doing that. As a parent,
Yes, that's the point.
you are allowing that stuff to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I pride myself on not allowing my child to have what is now called tablet time, right? I pride myself on not allowing her to have too much of that. She can have a 15-minute session. She can watch a couple of the videos that I've already got, that we already know about. That's cool with me.
That's good, but
Everything else, it's
Obviously-
hard
yeah.
though. Let me tell you fucking right now, that shit is hard. Especially when every other fucking kid in the surrounding area
Right.
is like stuck on it. I shit you not, just 2 days ago. I lied. Yeah, 2 days ago. It was Friday. We were at a park. At a park. And we're not supposed to be at parks, right? Like, we're not supposed to be there, but
parks
it's
are nice, though.
open, grass area, right? I'm like, fucking play. She sees these two other little girls that are playing there. I said, it's okay. Just make sure that we're respecting each other's spaces, okay? No tag, no anything like that. It's fine. If you guys want to run around, that's okay with me. Then it comes down to one of the little girls at the park pulls out a tablet at the park.
oh shit.
And I'm like, yo. No. What was the point of being outside then?
Right.
Like, what are we doing here? But I pride myself on her not being able to watch those things or do those things because I want her to maintain as much of her childlike existence.
But it's not
As
just that's the
possible.
scary thing though, that now it's just not the internet. There's so much pre-programming just in the toys alone. There was the LOL doll scandal, and there's also the troll doll scandal that came out.
True.
Where the troll dolls had like a button like in like the private area that when you
No, that's
push, like
correct.
she would make noises.
Yep.
And the LOL dolls, when you would dip them in cold water, like
They
they
had,
would
like,
get lingerie.
Out
Like,
of nowhere, they would have a
What?
teddy on
Yeah.
or something like that. Yeah.
and that shit like has to go through so much approval, like so many conferences where they're like,
no one could
okay,
have just done that and been like, oh, you know, it'd be
yeah,
fucking sick 'cause
nah,
if we could fucking
no,
do that
definitely
shit.
not. That's all pre-programming.
Correct.
And that, like you said, that's not just like you're keeping an eye out for just a tablet, but I feel like it's so difficult now for parents because there's so much shit out there that.
There is. There absolutely is.
Yeah.
And like I said, like everything is all about. Like I could never. There were so many opportunities where we were like, oh hey, is it okay? Like with my neighbors in the building where we used to live because we moved now. Like oh, is it okay if Jordan comes inside and we're gonna do this or do that, and I have to willfully apologize and say no, it's not. I'd rather not. Not that. Not that. Respectfully, I just don't know you well enough to allow her in there.
Like
And
now
I
you
don't
see
think-
why our parents were dicks and they were like, no, you can't go
Exactly.
there. No, you can't sleep over. you can't
Exactly. And if I can be honest, like, dude, I remember being 8. Maybe 9. I used to fucking dip from the house.
Yeah.
I would run to the park, bro. I'd be at the park for
Same,
fucking
same,
hours,
yeah,
dude.
Same.
Mom would put him straight
I
up.
get scared.
Bro,
I get scared thinking about how late I was out alone as an 8-year-old.
Yup. But I do it
I
though.
get scared thinking about that shit.
Yeah.
But I do it like I would. She would just be like, I'll just be. But by the time the lights are on, as soon as the street lights come on, it's time to come home.
Mhm.
And I lived in a cul-de-sac at the corner of a cul-de-sac, and at the very end of said cul-de-sac was my park. So I live a block away from the park. So it was amazing. Like I would run downstairs, or go over there, play basketball, shoot fucking caroms, whatever the fuck it is that I was doing at the park.
Play with your tablet.
Exactly. All day long, I'd just be playing with this wooden tablet, and I'd just be smacking kids with it.
Hell yeah. That's what's up.
Planky. That's what I used to call
It
it.
was good times back then, man. Good times, dude. I had
But
some
that's
good
the
times
thing
as a
is you
kid.
just don't.
Karen's though, right?
You like that? You like that name drop right there, showing my age? Karams, what's up?
Karen's.
What's up? But dude, I can now as a father, like I cannot imagine taking her anywhere and being like, all right, I'll be back.
Yeah.
I can't.
Hell no.
Short, and short of it being school. And now I'm like
Even
still
then, it's still
skeptical about that
suspicious.
shit
Yeah.
because I want to get to know the educator.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
I need to know who you are.
Yeah.
I'm gonna know everything about you.
Because all it takes is that one fucking person to scar your child for life.
That's
you know.
it, dude.
That's it.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what's fucked up too? It's not even the teachers. It's other kids you gotta worry about because I know somebody whose child was molested at school by another child.
Shit.
So
Yeah.
it's like, we gotta watch out for everybody, dog. Like,
Yeah.
Bro, it's learned behavior. Like learned behavior. Like so that kid who molested the other kid saw someone else do it or was a victim of it themselves. There's no way that little mind came up with that on their own. Had to have been from what they've seen. That's why I'm like so absolutely careful. Like to your point, there are a plethora of things that you gotta watch out
and
for.
that goes to WAP, Cardi B, and Megan Thee Stallion. Our kids are watching that shit right now, bro.
That's such
What are
a
they
good.
to
That's such a
think?
good song. No, I'm just
Cannot relate.
That's fire, bro. Hey, come on, bro. Hey, dog. It's a WAP.
I think you took it.
That's a WAP, my
I think you
friend.
took it too far there, Bernie.
That's a WAP, my friend.
That's the
All
one
right?
positive we're taking from 2020.
I'm just fucking with y'all.
I'm glad we were able to have a laugh. That's good. That's good. But no, there are so many things that you have to watch out for. So many things that you have to be keen on. But that's what comes with being a fucking parent, dude. You can't just go cruise control. You know, when you make those decisions, you have to be sure that that's what you want to do. You know, like you can't just be like, oh yeah, fuck it, like let's do it. Like no, you have to know that it's a lifelong commitment and that you're signing up to protect this child, not just from physical harm, but from emotional harm or anything that might happen to them for the rest of their existence. That's what you're signing up for. And if you can't do a good job of that, and you shouldn't be a parent. You just shouldn't be a parent.
That is so much responsibility.
But
dude.
unfortunately,
Major props to you.
it's too easy to become a parent. It's way too easy.
And it's
so
fun. It's fun, guys.
Easy.
Nah, just-
It's just too easy. It really is. You know, like I'm sure my parents didn't want to be parents when they became parents. That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fucking fact.
Yeah.
All right? Like they tried. They went for it. I'm a product of a broken home. They took a shot. They tried. But they got on each other's
Hey.
I'm
nerves.
30,
Hey,
They got
I'm
it, man.
32.
We're
hey,
alive.
look at you, man.
Yeah,
You're on your own podcast right
We're
now, bro.
thriving.
You made it.
Yeah.
Look at me now. Woo.
Huh? Who would have imagined? The two of
Hell
us,
yeah.
huh?
AKA surprise, motherfuckers.
Who would have thought, guys?
Surprise.
Oh shit, dude. Angel,
Yes,
back
sir.
Back to 2020, man. We
sorry,
we
man.
took on
Back-
a whole other
2020,
subject.
it's just because, come on, dude.
Yeah.
2020 is intense. There's so much going on right now. There's way too much to talk about.
COVID's definitely the king of 2020 right now, right?
Definitely.
I would say so. I definitely say COVID is 2020 king. But
I didn't see it in the line for topics, so I'm gonna tie it into COVID.
Go ahead.
okay.
But aliens, guys.
Oh no
Oh.
shit.
Aliens,
You know what?
guys? Record numbers of UFO sightings in
Yeah,
2020.
you know what?
Okay.
A recent. Well, sorry, producer
It's okay,
Brian's
go
having
ahead.
fun over there. Go ahead, Brian. Entertain everybody with you. I just see him giggling. I'm sorry. Aliens. Leave that up, man. Leave that up. You're right. You
Leave
know
it
what?
on,
That
dude.
motherfucker might as well be a
Oh,
fucking
that's great.
alien. So I seen like a couple videos,
Mm-hmm.
and when I was in JAG once, I told the story about when I saw a UFO.
Right.
And those videos, some of those videos are similar, dude. It's pretty crazy that now, like, I talked about the story. I was probably like 6 or 7, and I remember it
No
clearly because
way.
you don't forget something
you
like
don't
that.
forget that.
Yeah. So me and my other cousin Chris, we were like little traviesos, you know. We were just would make lies and stories and shit. So it was a Thanksgiving, and we're playing outside, and there was these red dots just floating, like they were like they would, you know, they would shine and then like dim or whatever. And then it was one red dot, sorry. And we ran inside and we told everybody, hey, look, there's a UFO outside.
Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of our older cousins came that happened to be like a Star Wars nerd, so he's like, I gotta see this if it's true, you know. So maybe it's the Death Star. So yeah, so he comes out, sure enough, and then he runs back and grabs everybody. So
Oh, it was
everybody
still there?
Yeah, I was still there. He brings everyone, so that shit's like getting brighter, and then breaks in two, dude. It breaks in two.
Oh, hell nah.
The bottom part fades,
Dang.
and then the part that stayed takes off like fucking ridiculous like speed. Yeah, dude. Like
How old are you?
I was like 6 or
How old
7.
are you?
6 or
Dropped off
7.
a scout.
If you look
God
at
damn, bro.
if you look it up, one of those sightings, the recent ones, it's very similar to that, to what we saw.
Oh yeah, those type of orb sightings are the legit ones. Now when you see one and they break into 2 and 3,
Yeah.
and they fucking form triangles, and then that one zips away. That's that shit, dog.
It's tricky, man.
That's amazing that you saw that.
So there's a couple things for me because I'm just always right. Like I'm not new to any of this stuff and alien and UFO sightings. Like so many fucking videos that we intercepted and that we dissected while we were on JAG, and most of the time I would find myself kind of really looking closely for, you know, certain clues that would tell me that it was either like, you know, it was made digitally. So like someone is just so goddamn good at CGI that they made it believable, right? Because there's some you see them, you like, you know, the ones
Yeah.
that are
Well,
CGI.
Yeah.
Well,
The
so
sounds
with
are a little ridiculous,
UFOs,
right?
For sure.
That's what sucks too, because like I mean, if I wouldn't have saw that, I couldn't have said I was a believer, because it's so easy.
True.
Like what I do now, especially with the UFO, I'm talking about a light.
True.
I can do that in like 5 minutes. I can add that
Right.
fucking light and
Right,
basically replicate what I saw.
right,
Yeah.
right,
So
right.
yeah, so I get what you're saying. Sorry.
No, it's okay. No, what we were talking about is like the amount of UFO sightings just in 2020, right? Or how much how much more we've been able to see. And right, and I'll attribute it. We're gonna get it back to Corona. Is that there's more people at home doing a whole bunch of nothing.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of people that are just hanging out in their yards now, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Doing nothing but watching the fucking
more
clouds
eyes,
go
yeah.
by,
Yeah.
right? And so it can be that. It also means that there's a lot of people sitting at home at their computer generating these things and getting these things together.
It can be
There's a
true.
lot of engineers
Yeah,
at home
it
right
could be
now,
true.
you know, coding.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Drones, coding
Right.
fucking drones, so
Yeah.
they can go ahead and put on a show for everybody.
Yeah.
Like I remember, I'm trying really hard to remember what fucking set it was that I saw at Coachella.
Oh, Odessa.
Odessa.
Yeah.
Odessa had
I already
a
know where you're
fucking
going.
amazing Coachella
Yeah.
set, and they
Yeah.
had this really rad
You know what? Hey,
drone show. It's fucking cool.
I know we don't have a shitload of viewers yet, but once we get there, we're gonna start this drinking game, Angel. You know, we're 14 episodes in.
Uh-huh.
I can guarantee you at least Coachella's been mentioned in like 12 of them. so yeah, that's gonna be a new drinking game, dude, for the listeners.
Anytime we say Coachella,
You
drink
take
it.
acid.
He
Oh, that's
took
not
a
drinking.
time.
Okay.
Whatever, you know, it's your game. You play the way you want.
I'm just gonna be here, Coachella, just saying random ass things, Coachella, and getting
Oh,
everybody
man.
all fucked
Yesterday
up,
was-
Coachella.
Well, yesterday was so Coachella. I woke up today and I was Coachella, bro.
We're just gonna start using it as a word. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a verb now.
But sorry, you're saying the Odessa set in the
Oh
drones.
yeah, no. So it's just like to the point where we're seeing more and more of it, right? Like it could be a combination of a lot of those
Yeah.
things because there's so many things online. I will say this: I did see a video on Jag after I'd left. A guest came on and had their own personal video that they had taken, and dude, real as fucking real could be, bright lights, daytime, and something similar where it was like two orbs that just got split up, looked like they were dropping off scout ships, and then
Interesting.
just the main one just pieced the flying fuck out at a speed that was way above
Wow.
anything that a drone could do, and like up, right? Like
Yeah.
drones have range, bro.
Yeah.
Limited range.
They can't fly miles above.
You
the-
get me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That far out, but it depends. It depends on how much money you have and what kind of technology you have access to, right? It just depends.
But
Yeah,
at the
you're right.
beginning of the year, like around, I think it was around February or May, there was that big one in, I think it was Peru. Was it Peru? I don't know. You
Right,
guys could
right.
correct me.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
Peru and Brazil.
Peru, and
Correct.
there was even like evidence of like tweets being deleted over it. Like people
No
from
way.
there.
Really?
People from
Yeah.
there tweeting about it and they were deleting the tweets.
That's crazy.
And that's super
Yeah,
fucking sketch.
the military was fighting with them.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking crazy. And that all got
So
like swept under the rug. Like, what happened to that? Like, we don't
Yeah.
know anything about that anymore. Like,
No.
at all.
Yeah. No. That's not a. That's not
Some
a
of the
topic.
videos, dude,
Mhm.
and they were fucking pretty crazy. Where I was like, it looked real, but like
Yeah, they look, but like,
some like blue, it was a blue, like I don't know, man. It looked like CGI,
yeah,
but it didn't look like CGI.
yeah.
So it was just too much. It was too much
I
popcorn.
feel you. And that's
I loved it.
the problem now that you don't know. There
No, you
should
don't.
be a program that kind of should be able to tell you whether something is CGI or not. You know, there has to be something like that.
Well, there's something. Well,
Ooh.
it's just if you ask for an original,
Mhm.
fuck, it's tough though, because there's something called stem files, so you can kind of dissect like
I see.
video files. So, nah, it's,
So it'll tell you
Yeah.
kind of with data if it's like
Yeah,
with
but
the
it's-
background
but
maybe.
even there's ways around it. I'm thinking
Okay.
about it now because I know a little bit of it because I went to school for
Okay.
music. So
Well, that's what I was gonna say. They're
so
doing it
it's-
for
it's,
music
it's
right
in line
now.
with that, but I'm thinking like, nah, I think I could come up with a way around it. But there is, but it's a lot of investigating. Not enough. Not worth my time.
So
You know
what
what I
you're
mean?
saying is that you're behind the UFO videos.
Yeah.
Okay,
Correct.
got it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Good
Speaking
job on
of
that.
speaking of super technologically advanced videos
Uh-huh.
and super just overall technological advances,
Uh-huh.
how do you guys feel about 5G?
Fucking rip-off, homie.
Ooh, 5G.
I seen all the YouTube videos about the testing.
So
That shit's not even that fast. Stick with your 4G, people. I'm not getting
So-
COVID over that shit.
dude, trip out over 5G. This is one of the things that I saw, and I know that Bernie's got a lot to say about it. I just saw a video maybe a couple weeks ago where Australia is now implementing like surveillance footage and in assistance with COVID-19.
Mhm.
And basically what they're doing is that through the video footage, they're able to see when people come in contact closer than 6 feet anywhere in a public space. And if you happen to be, one of those people that is a continuous offender, then the program or the software has been programmed to then follow you.
No
And all
way.
cameras will follow you and track your movements so that at some point someone can intercept you and stop you dead in your tracks because you are a problem.
Holy shit.
Shit is wild. Australia,
Yeah, man. 5G's for the AI.
AI. That's
It's
right.
not for us. It's for the AI.
That
To
is
be able to
crazy.
function more properly, be able to streamline faster, easier, right? To be able to transmit information on the go faster. Bottom line.
Yeah, and like Eddie said, 5G isn't gonna give us better internet.
Hey, I was joking, but it's true. There's a lot of tests. They're not for us. It's not much
It's not
different.
gonna make much
Yeah.
difference
from
for
4G to
us. It's for
5G.
them.
Here's the thing, though. Also,
Oh,
that I think there is a possibility of it affecting us a little bit because even regular cell phone towers affect us.
Yeah.
And there's studies in some areas where they'll see the amount of cancer cases around a cell tower, and it's significantly higher than in normal places without cell towers, and that's huge. And if something is kind of beaming more of the just radio. I think it's not radiation, but it's like radio frequency radiation, and
Yeah.
there's a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that affects us on a biological level that we don't
Yeah.
really have any idea what it's doing to us yet. You know?
I mean, even sound, right? Like sound, certain megahertz of sound affect
they
us
affect you.
significantly, right?
brown
Like,
note,
what was
bro.
it?
the brown note, the legendary brown note. Yeah.
Was it a extentacion? Was it that was talking about megahertz and putting his music out to certain megahertz to be able to change people's minds and
Yes,
things like
yes,
that?
Really?
yes, yes. Yeah.
That's insane. I didn't know that.
So
Yeah,
certain
man.
frequencies have an effect on your psyche. And
Correct.
yeah. So
That's why hey man, that's why I wub music.
Yes,
I wub it.
You wub it. I wub it also.
a lot.
Yeah,
Wub,
for
wub,
sure.
wub, wub, wub.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good stuff, dude.
So
Good
Angel
stuff.
loves music. So
What did you say about me?
oh, but yeah, like you guys are right about the whole frequency of the wavelengths because even our music used to be 432 hertz, and then it was changed to 440 hertz. And then if you look at like those tests with they show water, it shows them like making specific crystals when it hits a certain frequency.
Yes.
So at like 432, everything is perfectly geometrical, and at 440, it kind of like gets
Disrupts,
fuzzy.
erratic. Yes.
Disrupts. So basically, that's what our music does to us, and that's how they're able to control and manipulate people's thoughts and our actions. But they would repeat, it's just repeat over and over and over and over and over again. And then, just like how you said earlier, the phones, we all have our phones now everywhere we go, no matter what, and we're in the system,
At the
with
hip.
social media.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now 5G is just going to take us to the whole virtual reality shit, and there's going to be 6G where it's plugged into our brain, where we're not going to need our phones anymore.
Yeah.
So,
When I was a kid,
I mean,
all
step by step.
that seemed like amazing to me.
Total
and
Recall.
now it's just like scary as fuck, which is
Because
weird.
it's here.
Yeah.
because you're woke.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe.
It will eventually, like, there's been so many like Total Recall situations where I'm just like, this isn't right. This can't be real. Like,
Yeah.
I'm in a dream right now. This is what it is. Like, there's no way that this is real, but it's going on around us, dude, and it continues to happen. And I just have to, tell everybody out there to, keep your families close. Make sure that if there's someone you're mad at out there, fucking squash it. It's not worth it. Make sure that you're, keeping in close contact with those you love, and make sure that they're all right. Some people are dealing with the circumstances of 2020 a little harder than others,
Yep.
and sometimes just a little love, it might go a long way. You never know if that one phone call, text message, fucking Instagram post, Snapchat, whatever it is, you just never know if that one form that you reach out to someone could help save someone. Because it's too easy to be depressed nowadays. It's too easy for us to think about all the things that are going on and put ourselves in the dumps. And very often, a lot of us don't really appreciate the good things that are going on around our life, and we don't share enough about it. And we need to do better.
Put that
We
5G
need to do better
use.
as a whole.
Yeah.
We just do.
I
So.
they owe you money, though. Fuck those people.
Hey, fuck everyone that owes you money. Pay it back, you broke ass bitch. Pay me.
Just kidding.
Put that 5G to use. Venmo.
Oh, there it is. I think that's
Yeah,
About-
I don't know how true it is, but there is lots of videos of the when they first tested out the 5G in the UK, and there was a lot of birds dying.
Oh
There
yeah.
was a lot of
What?
birds dying.
There's a shitload of and bees in
Bees
America
also.
actually. Bees were dying in America around 5G towers. Birds
Yeah.
were dying around.
Birds
the
were
ones
dying in the UK.
The English people were
Now we have
actually
dolphins,
burning
too.
down 5K towers.
Yeah, and people were actually burning down 5G towers in the UK.
Hey, do you want to know
which
where
is
they
fucking
first
crazy.
established the first 5G network?
What is that? Faster
Wuhan?
corn?
Where?
Wuhan.
Wuhan.
Oh, yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
that's
Wuhan.
crazy.
Yeah.
But look, they're,
That's
but
right.
they're already having
What a
music festivals
coincidence.
like Coachella.
They were having a party. They were having a pool party, fool. That shit was crazy. There's a wave pool.
They're in a wave pool powered by 440 hertz.
Come on, man.
Oh man, dude, I fucking love talking to you guys.
Same, man.
Thank you so very much for
Thank
coming
you.
on today and
Fuck
having this
yeah.
conversation with us.
Yeah.
Eddie and I have done a really good job of inviting people in here, and we make the show all about them as much as possible because I don't pretend to know anything. I really don't. I take all the information that I can and I absorb as much of it I can, and I try to really just kind of lay it out and see it for what it is. But we do a really good job of inviting people on here and interviewing them and going through all of their lives and whatnot. This is the first time in a long time that we've done kind of like a free form kind of podcast, and I really do have to thank you guys for coming on.
Yes, thank you
I
guys,
enjoyed
man.
your company.
Thank you guys
Thank
for
you very
having
much
us,
for
for
coming on
sure.
today.
Thank you.
Ciao.
And with that, I'll say, on behalf of Layman's World, I am Angel, King of Mediocrity Martinez. Eddie, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram as Eddie_Nags, Twitter, Eddie Nags, all together. And like I always say at the end, people, we're almost there. Stay home. We're going to be all right.
Nice.
Kenneth, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Loverboy Official on Instagram and
Hot.
Twitter as well. And that was actually a good note. I thought that we should really focus on the positive this year. There's a lot of awakening happening, and as long as we focus on that, I think we'll be able to pull through.
Bernie, what do you have to say to the people?
Fucking love your family, love your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy life, man, because tomorrow is not promised.
Yes.
That is a fact.
Yes.
But hopefully, next week is promised, and you guys will join us for our next episode.
Fuck yeah.
Can we actually do 2 weeks in a row? Damn.
We might. We just might.
I feel like we just scratched the tip of the iceberg of what we were talking about.
We
also,
could
you know?
we
Yeah.
could double up.
Part
I think
two,
we
part
can double
two.
up.
We could do. I mean, I'd be up for a 2020 or a more structured one. You know,
Yeah.
instead
Yeah.
of free for all, and then we'll go from there.
Let's
Definitely.
do it.
'Cause
Let's do it.
2020 isn't
Part
getting
two.
any better.
Yeah.
Even though I say we're gonna be all right.
Sure, we're gonna have,
something
we're gonna
else.
have so much more to talk
I
about.
know, for real.
It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse for Angel in about 3 games or 2 games.
Hey. No, don't you dare do any host on host crime right now. Okay? All right? I told you that was a sensitive subject, and I don't appreciate what you said just now. On behalf of everyone here at Layman's World, and thank you very much, Producer Bryant, for doing what you do for us today. Thank you so much,
thank
sir.
you.
Appreciate you. Thank you very much for everybody that listened. Thank you for everybody that joined in on the live. Thank you so much. I hope everybody has a wonderful life and a wonderful week. We'll see you
Yes.
next week. Thank you so much.
Pay Bernie his money.